Are you ready for combat night?
What's up, everybody? Here we are back again with the Combat Night Pod. I'm joined here today with an OG of OGs. He's a double OG. He is been with us since the very beginning. I want to say like Combat Night 3 or 4. Back then, we didn't keep records as well as we do today. Over 10 fights for sure with us. He fights out of the Jungle MMA and Fitness. He started at the Bulldog Boxing in Jacksonville with us. None other than Luke, Gingerbread Man, Pustay. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Think you're doing great. Yeah, it is funny to see like what Combat Night has become. I mean, I remember fighting. I legit think it was like Combat Night 3 in Tallahassee or Jacksonville is and to see what it's become is amazing. Yeah,
man. I mean, a lot of guys, I'm thankful to have guys like you that are still around and still a part of this. You know, I'm not sure if you're done fighting yet. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But you know, you got to see what the MMA scene was like when we were just getting started. And, you know, looking back, man, it was god awful. I just think of some of the events, especially in Jacksonville where you were from, fighting in places like Pulse nightclub, Pure nightclub.
Yeah.
Just some hilarious stories because
I mean the Moon still though. The Moon was the coolest shit I've ever fought in. I fought for a title fight, if you want to call it, against David Walker as an amateur at the Moon. And I just remember being starstruck. And like if I were still to fight at the Moon today, I would also be starstruck because the production value was cool. But sorry, Ramses.
No, you're good.
But the production value when I was about to walk out for that title fight was like nothing I ever experienced. I was used to fighting in the fucking Tallahassee carnival. And I'm not, when I say carnival, I'm not joking. It was the Tallahassee State Fair.
Yep.
Like whatever you want to call it, the freak show.
Yep. And high school gymnasiums.
That
was a high level show.
Gymnasium, whatever the fuck. Like, and I remember just like people, and I'm not making this up, like people laughing when I'm walking out, like, ho. Like it really did feel like a freak show.
Yeah.
And then I fought for you guys for a title. I think I fought one time for you guys before I fought for the title. I fought for what David Walker in Tallahassee at the Moon. And I remember walking out of that tunnel and there was that production that I've never seen him before. And it wasn't people laughing at me, but it was just like, holy shit, this like feels like I am literally like walking out into an arena. And it wasn't an arena, but the production was so cool that it was like, God, this is another level.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that feeling.
Yeah. You know, whenever it's funny, man, you got to go back to I don't know if you, did you go up there whenever I think Kenny Agosto and a couple other guys were going to fight? It's probably been a year now. They were up there, but you got to come back and see the Moon because it's even crazier.
Oh no, I've been there. I mean, one of my favorite memories was my buddy and good friend Todd Coppinger. He fought at the Moon.
Okay.
When it was like literally 2020. It was like, hey, we're opening shit up.
Yeah.
And I was like in a mink coat, and I was like, it's like, we were locked out for about 3 or 4 months. Thank God it was Florida. It wasn't that much longer. I was like, I'm about to have fun. Like, I'm not fighting, but a Combat Night event is a Combat Night event. And when it's at the Moon in Tallahassee, that was sold out. And I don't want to get you in trouble, but we had a conversation about the whole COVID thing. And I don't know what the capacity was supposed to be, but it was definitely
over that capacity.
Opinion, over that capacity, and it was lit. Everybody was having fun because there was nothing else to do, and not only that was nothing else to do, but the Combat Night always has the greatest production that you can. It's like a legit fight promotion, and that was so much fun. And Todd got the win, and it was just such a fun night. It was like the first party I could do in 5 months at least.
Yeah, no, it's dope, man. It's cool too because at that time, everyone that was out they weren't afraid. They knew that it was bullshit. They knew that it was like, let's go out and have a good time. So
this is Florida, baby.
It was all very good people too. So like, you're partying with good company, because if they were scared of the virus or they were afraid something might happen, they stayed at home. You know, it still wasn't like
how it should have been to be from day one. This is Florida.
Yes. I love the Florida man.
And but I just loved it. I'll keep our conversation to a minimal what we said, but you were just like, yeah, they said this, we did this, and it's whatever. I was like, yeah, this is so
making it happen. It felt very, you know, I'm sure you're aware, but you know, we did the event, the first pandemic event, before the UFC did it in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, I remember.
With no fans in the stands.
National news.
Yeah.
I want to make that clear. That was like,
ESPN covered it. It was literally 4 days after they shut down everything, and it was 50 people were allowed in the building. And even some of the fighters pulled out because they didn't feel safe or comfortable. We followed all the regulations that they set forth, like 50 people in the building. We were lucky. We were at the Morocco Shrine Auditorium in Jacksonville, and they have like 3 separate buildings. So we had one corner in one building, one corner in another building.
All Egyptian sacrificial temples.
Yes. They weren't caring. They were like, let's run it.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. There's like pictures of this dude from the 1920s, like portraits.
Yeah. And all kinds of rumors about the mayor of Jacksonville being a part of that. And maybe they have buried a body or two there.
Ron DeSantis at some point was in that.
Yep, for sure.
Who knows?
Well, man, you know, there's a bunch of memories that I have with you because you've been around for so long. But before we get into the memories, I want to ask you a question that's been on everyone's mind lately, and something that we've been talking about at my gym for sure. I'm sure you're talking about it at the jungle. You gotta be talking about the jungle. I think your mascot's a gorilla. So what's your take on this 100 men versus 1 gorilla?
I mean, to be quite honest, I think your buddy JP St. Louis, shout out, Combat Night Fighter, broke it down perfectly. I mean, you see how that gorilla just is dragging that body. There's nobody, even Mr. Finney, the UFC roster guy that he picked, that can do that. And anybody like Brian Callen, all these people that are saying that they have a shot, it's not true, dude. Like, no. And then, sure, if you're taking the 100 people and it's like a simulation where they don't care what happens to the first
Fearless
3 people, sure, yeah, of course. But you got to look at what happens to humans when, I mean, anything fearful happens. If you see the first 3 people get ripped apart, there's no way. Yeah.
No, at that point, it's shot.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It could be 100 people versus 1 lion. Who cares if it's a bipedal person or any jungle creature is gonna, not the jungle MMA, but any jungle creature is ripping through them. It doesn't matter if it's a gorilla. It doesn't matter if it's a tiger. It doesn't matter.
I think even a
chimpanzee. Have you seen like the chimpanzee documentary on?
Yes, chimp. I think it's
chimp crazy.
Yeah, it's like Chimp Nation or Chimp something. But
I mean, these people think you can like own these primates. I won't even call them monkeys because they're not. They're apes as animals or as pets, excuse me, and they will rip your face off.
Yeah,
dude. And it's like it's like literally like me pilling up a scratch and sniff is me like ripping your nose and your eyes off, and this being
gone. And they're just playing with you. It's funny to them. It's not even.
It doesn't matter. You could have maybe 200 people.
Okay,
now it doesn't matter.
So, what do you think? Someone else posed another question. One of my friends, Phil Rowe, actually said he thinks that the 100 men can beat the gorilla. Now, his argument is that he would get 100 defensive tackles, like apex men.
Don't think it would. I don't think it would make a difference. Literally, it's like they're gonna get their faces ripped off.
Yeah, I think they have to have.
When they see the first person get their face ripped off, there's no plan. Like,
yeah,
you know how Mike Tyson says everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Everybody has a plan until their nose gets ripped off.
Yep.
Like. It's not a face rip off. It's literally their nose, and then they eat it, and then they'll rip your nuts off, and then
that's the go-to of the chimp thing. But talking about they
nose and then their nuts,
the genitals right away.
Yeah. Do you think the other 100 or let's say 100? You think the other 98 people are going to want to go in there after seeing somebody's testicles ripped off?
Yeah, I thought the only way that the 100 apex men could win is if they all attacked at the same time. We're all on meth. and fearless.
Meth, yeah.
Maybe
meth,
then.
if they're in Polk County.
Yeah, I'm from Polk County.
That's what I said. Yeah, if they're in Polk County and they did some of the Polk County powder,
yeah,
the PP, then maybe. But to be honest, man, like imagine just seeing somebody's testicles get ripped off.
I'm done. As soon as
what are you gonna do? You can't.
If the gorilla just hit one person,
I don't care. I'm number 87. Don't care.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm done at that point. I'm like, oh, you guys, I'll be back. Bathroom break real quick.
And people like Brian Callen are like, oh, they're gonna get tired. No, they're not. It's a fucking chimpanzee.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting tired. No gorilla, no chimpanzee, none of that.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's like, oh, their cardiovascular is not the same as a human's. If a human sees 4 people's testicles ripped off, it doesn't matter what your cardio is. Could be Usain Bolt, could be Lance Armstrong. If they see their testicles getting ripped off, Brian Callen, you're not making it near that chimpanzee.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
You're done. You're cashing out. So maybe a more realistic question. I'm curious. Someone said this, and they use it as a comparison. An 8-year-old is probably the equivalent of a man to a gorilla. Do you think
this is
you could beat 100 8-year-olds? If 100 8-year-olds came at you, and
I do. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I do. They're untrained. Dude.
Yeah, I think for sure.
Are they trained?
No, just
how old's Caden? I apologize.
He's 8
for using this.
That's what I imagine. Caden's 8 years old.
Caden's pretty trained, but I mean, just literally one uppercut.
Yeah, my friend told me this. It's Phil Rowe again. He said
that's not the same as a fucking primate.
Well, the guy he sent me a video of a guy's whose argument was, one man couldn't beat 100 8-year-olds, and it shows a video of like a guy in a gym playing around, getting mauled by a bunch of 8-year-olds. It's like, well, it's different whenever you start front kicking them and uppercutting them and knocking them out. Like, I really do
one front kick to the chin and to the 8-year-olds. I mean, they're
done. And they're more fearful than us.
They don't like it when their knees get scabbed up on the playground.
Exactly.
What's going to happen when someone's jaw gets turned around? I mean, to use Phil Rowe as an example, just bang, like one uppercut and their jaw turns around. Yeah. What's that other 8-year-old?
Yeah. And us, we might have a little more problem because, we are smaller men.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the size of an 8-year-old, but I'll die for this country.
Yeah.
Like if it's a giant Chinese guy, and I'm like, I'm going to defend America over China. But these 8-year-olds, they don't have that love for America that adults do. Or understanding of the body.
No, I agree with you. I think I can beat 100 8-year-olds, but I cannot beat one gorilla with 99 other men.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And I'm actually glad if that scenario ever happened and they were looking for apex man. I'm glad I'm 5'7", 5'8", and I don't have to worry about being picked for that.
I'll hide.
Yeah.
In the fucking cabinet and then jump on the grill. There we go. That's number 93. He died.
See you later. For sure. Well, man, you've been, like I said, we said earlier, you've been in the fight game for so long. You've done so much with us. What's one of your favorite memories fighting for Combat Night? I know you've had 10 plus fights.
I mean, like I said, the Combat Night, the first time I fought for the Moon was very cool. I lost, unfortunately, to David Walker. But that was very cool. I've had huge crowds for my merch. Even when I lost to Cleveland, had a huge crowd there. Lost to Chris Daniels, a huge crowd there. But you win fights too.
I do just say that. Yes, he's only talking about losing, but Luke also wins a lot of fights.
No. Yes. I mean, just selling merch for my buddies, and it's like a huge event where they come out is very fun. My win against Ken was very cool because I had a lot of people I grew up with in Jacksonville, and they got the video of them all cheering.
Yeah.
It's so hard to pinpoint because I just love Combat Night, even wins or losses, how much fun I've had, the preparation for the fight, wins or losses. It's a big deal. Like when I fought Cleveland, it was like, I knew if I beat Cleveland, it was the next step.
Yep.
Whatever. He beat my ass. Whatever. And then when I fought Chris, it was one of those other predicaments where it was like, okay, we got another win. Let's bounce back. If I beat Chris, it was one of those things was like, okay, ONE FC is going to look at you for sure. got caught, unfortunately. But,
yeah, I know. I wanted to see more of that fight. I really did.
You know, the lead up to it was one of the coolest things ever. Legit felt like I was like fighting for the UFC, the press conference that you guys did, the face-offs, and then just leading up to it. And there's nothing I can blame it on. It was just, you know, I got caught. When I had the fight before it, it was like, I'm gonna ground and pound elbow this motherfucker to death.
Mhm.
And then I saw that with Chris, and I thought I was gonna be able to do that. And his jiu-jitsu was way better than I expected, and that's on me. But the experience of that, it was almost like I was fighting in the UFC, just because the press conference you guys had and the media and all that. It was cool. It was a cool trial.
That's something we really tried to do, man. You know, when me and Josh started this, it was to give you guys the experience that we always wish we had. Because coming up, I remember fighting and being told, after the event, I got paid $300 in Georgia, fighting in the pavilion. I had to get carried to the cage because it was raining and there was like puddles of mud everywhere. So my friends had to carry me to
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Fred Durst, puddles of mud.
Oh, yeah.
Puddles of mud.
And I had to literally, like, I got in the cage. There was mud and dirt in the cage. It was just horrible. And after this, I got paid $300. I'm getting paid by the promoter. And I was like, hey, man, could I get an event shirt? And he points over to the booth and he's like, yeah, they're $20 right over there. And I was like, really? I mean, I didn't go buy a shirt, by the way. I was very pissed. I was like,
of course, dude. Like, why would you ever pay for the event
shirt that my name's on?
And you guys do such a good job. I mean, not to sidetrack you, but like when I make videos, I'm wearing a Combat Night shirt. I get comments where it's like, oh my God, Combat Night.
Yeah.
And you guys do a great job marketing with the merchandise.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is like, I knew that I didn't want fighters to have to pay for a shirt or whatever for an event they fought on, or just a shirt, shorts, water bottle, whatever we can give them for free. Let's give them for free, rather than going and buying radio commercials or TV commercials or billboards or any of those things. Those are cool, but it's a lot cooler for me to walk into a gym and see 20 out of the 30 people wearing a Combat Night rash guard.
And they're all sick. Like, especially like, I love like the branding you do with the cities. It's like Orlando looks like the Magic, Tallahassee looks like, you know, FSU and all that stuff. And I don't know, are we breaking the news on the podcast? I saw Richard Cox is saying you guys are going to some other markets soon.
Yeah, actually we are, man. We're heavily researching. We're going to go to another state. We're trying to find states.
News.
Yeah, we're trying to find states with like lower regulation, so it's an easier barrier to entry. not to like get away with stuff. We still need insurance and ambulance.
Go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I wish. I would love that. Saudi hit us up. But you know, New York is a hard state to go do an event, so we're not trying to go to a state like New York. But we're looking at Ohio right now. I know it's a random spot.
No, I mean, I work my new job. I sell dumpsters and. Actually, I shouldn't say this, but Cleveland, they're like looking to expand in there. Ramsey, let's cut this out.
Yeah, cut that part out. But hey, if they're looking to sponsor an event while they're in Ohio,
no,
you know.
I actually want to like sponsor an event in Florida. I do like, because I work for a dumpster company, so it's like, I don't know, the JJ's jiu-jitsu finish of the week.
Yeah.
Like that, and it'll come out of my pocket. Obviously, I don't know how you guys do all that, but I want to do something like that because I want to get like the JJ's jiu-jitsu finish.
Yeah, I
so
like
it's a mission of the night.
For sure.
Whatever money I can put up for that.
Yeah, we can.
And I would love to, you know, get some of these younger fighters some money, because this last fight with Harvey Writings.
I like Harvey.
I spoke to his opponent, who I'm good friends with, Dejan, and not to put his whole business out there, but we had like a long talk. He's like, I don't know, like how you make money off these fights and stuff. And it's like, yo, it doesn't matter like what my purse is. Like, I make a good amount of money off of merchandise, and you need to figure out how to do that. And it's very simple. Like, find someone at your gym that has a business. They're going to pay whatever it is on your back. Find 4 or 5 of them. Whatever the cost is for you to make those shirts, you charge those people at least the amount it is to make your shirts, between the 4 or 5 of them. So if it's 5 and it's 200, let's keep it easy. What's 200 divided by 5? 40. At least 40. I would charge them 100 if it was me.
Yeah.
They put their logo on your back. Now your shirts are paid for. Whatever money that you're charging these people, that's all in your pocket.
Yep.
So I was telling him, he's like, it doesn't matter what your purse is, dude. You need to make money other than your purse. You need to do X, Y, and Z.
I agree, you know, and that's why I like you so much. You're wearing one of your shirts now, but every event you have a different shirt that you come out with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
collectibles.
Yeah, it's a little collectible, right?
Yeah.
I have all my Luke Pustay shirts.
Yeah.
And if you sell 50 of those shirts at $20 a pop, you've made $1,000.
And if you already got the production paid for by the sponsors and then some, like,
exactly.
Not to put my own business out there, but most of the times, like, my production's paid plus more, you know. And I was telling Dijon, is like, you got people in your gym that love you. Like, they will pay. If it's a dentist, bro, like, $100 to them is not $100 to us.
And not at all.
Like, $100 to them is like $1.
Yeah.
Like, fucking ask for that. And it's like,
and you get 10 of those. You just get 10, or you get, like you said, 5 of
that's
those.
$500 that you already got towards your shirts.
Yeah. And you're already, I tell these guys, like, you know, they say, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to say. Just post a picture after training. Great training today. Thank you, Billy's Dentist Service. Thank you, JJ's Dump Trucks. Whatever it is, like, you know, it doesn't take a lot of effort to make these people happy and for them to see your name out there. And then not only that, but like, you're associated with the biggest MMA promotion in the Southeast. I would even argue to say, if you look at the numbers, the largest regional show in the United States. And we're going to share your stuff. If you tag us, we're sharing it. So now your sponsor sees a page with 200,000 followers sharing their company.
I mean, I get texts from people randomly. And they're like, yo, I just saw somebody with your shirt on in St. Pete.
Dope feeling.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's all. It is a dope feeling, but it's like, that's a very cool feeling for somebody that's like a business on the back of my shirt.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, or it's like they're at Bailey's Powerhouse Gym in Jacksonville and they see my protein shake, whatever is on the back. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to sell yourself. And it is like, if I sell 400 shirts, whatever number it is, if I sell 400 shirts, that's 400 opportunities for your business to be seen at least once. Like, these people are not sitting in their house doing nothing with these shirts. Like, they're doing something.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you're a mortgage company and one person sees it and they decide to go to you, it's like, you just made however much money off of $100 on my shirt, and you just got one mortgage off of that. Yeah,
no brainer. It's a no brainer.
Or a lawn company. It's like, you got one customer for paying $100 on my shirt, and it's a lawn care company. You got a loyal customer that's going to at least be for you for 1 year, and they're paying $150 whatever a month, and you paid $100. It's a no brainer. You need to ask for that money. Like, people are afraid to ask for that.
And I mean, I see guys all the time. When I was fighting and I was active, I was literally making between, I don't know, let's say 10 grand, literally 10 grand. I was like, I was hustling. I would ask everyone and their moms and their cousins. And I would ask 100 people, and 90 people would tell me no. 10 people would tell me yes.
Who cares about the people saying, I mean, I'm a salesman now. So it's like, I get told no all the time. Who cares when someone tells you no?
Yeah.
If you ask 10 people and one person says yes, those other 9 people are irrelevant. Who cares? Like, move on.
Yeah.
Move on. If you ask, 10 of your teammates no, and one says yes, and they're like a dentist office, they get one person to become a patient with them. They've made so much money off of that $100, whatever you ask. It's a no brainer. And that's what I was telling Dijon, or however you say his name.
Dewan.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I love him so much.
He's
so
a good
I don't
dude.
want to disrespect him. But we had a heart-to-heart conversation, and it was like, you can do this. You've been at Dark Wolf for this long. Your people love you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what people don't understand, is like, the people that you train with love you. They want to support you. Ask them, what's the worst that happens? They say no. You're still going to see them every day, and they're still going to love you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I agree. I haven't done it as heavy as I used to. I used to really be heavy on like trying to help guys understand how to get sponsors for themselves and how to promote themselves. But every fight card, we have an average of like 25, 30 fighters on a card.
So much money.
There might be 2 guys who make a shirt. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yo, it's crazy to me that only 2 guys on this whole card made a shirt. And some of these guys are savages, man. They're like, and it doesn't matter if you're the next UFC champion or you're going to do 2 or 3 fights and be done with it. It doesn't matter what your goal is, how far you make it. It's an opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
And it's,
of course, and to be creative, dude. Like,
have fun.
I'll give credit where credit is due. Roman Fedorov, his wife, Brittany Gacy, they just got married. So shout out to them. She's like the brains behind the details in here. Like, I tell her what I want. She does it. I say, like, I want me riding on Uzi. But, I could say that to anybody, and the way she does it is so good. So I am very lucky. And then I say I want the Jaguars font. So you see all that. But there's little details, the nipples and stuff. I would have never thought about that. So shout out Brittany. She's amazing. When I do fight again, I do have one design that I already had pre-made for a fight I thought I was going to have, and it didn't. So we already got one loaded. And
okay. And the thing is too, is like, guys, they don't even have to be that creative. Like, yes, I mean, obviously the shirts were
very basic, dude.
But it could just be your name. It could be just something simple. Like, you look at
like Lou had like a Punisher shirt for a while that was very good. I have it. The reason why that comes to mind is, I'm moving now, and we were packing all our shirts. I saw the Lou shirt. It's like, no, that's coming with me.
Yeah, we're keeping that one.
Yeah. So I will never. I mean, Jeremy Williams has a lot of great shirts.
Merch.
And it's just little things that are like when I'm packing up to move and I'm throwing away shirts, I see my buddy's fight shirts. I'm like, no, that's not Lucas Haru. That's coming with me. It doesn't matter if I, just wear it for training or running. I'm going to wear it if I'm mowing the lawn. I'm never going to get rid of one of my friend's fight shirts.
Yeah, so. Same here, man. I have a stack. Jim Allers was another guy who's really good at making shirts. I have like 8 or 9 of his shirts. I don't even wear them anymore, to be honest. I might wear one every now and then, but I very rarely wear them, but I still keep them.
Exactly.
And they're like
collectibles.
It's heartfelt. Yeah. Like, I'm like, Brandy's like, you have too many shirts. You need to get rid of some of your shirts. And I'm like, I mean, not these though. And she's like, you haven't wore that shirt in 2 years. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like a piece of me goes away if I throw it away.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where it's like he fought for the shirt. He literally fought for this shirt, and I'm not going to get rid of it. I'll wear it to mow the lawn or something. I don't give a fuck.
I'm going to keep it for sure.
Yeah.
What you got? Miles over there. Yeah, we got Miles Amos, another one.
There we go. Yeah, that is a good one.
Black Santa.
Yep. The thing with Miles is I would love to have more of his shirts, but he like doesn't tell anybody. He's like, oh yeah, I'm fighting next week. By the way, here's a shirt. I made 5 of them. And they're all extra larges. But if you want one, here's one. So Miles, do a better job, please.
Yeah, Miles, do a better job, man.
They are cool though.
But yeah, I think even when guys aren't, you don't have to be, even if you don't have a fight coming up. If you're creative and you have good ideas like Luke over here, and you're always, you have some good ideas, you can make money in the off time too. Say you get injured and you're rehabbing for 6 months, like you can still make a shirt and you can still hustle a brand, your brand, and make money.
People love you, man. Like, people really like you more than you think. That's one thing I would tell people is like you said, you are a brand, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, if you've got a funny idea or something, just put it out there. Like, have fun with the whole thing. Like, don't take yourself so serious. This is a fucking serious game. Like, you're trying to elbow and kill somebody when you're fighting them, but when you're not, like,
enjoy it
yourself.
Yeah, enjoy it, because you never know when you get to do it again. You never know whenever you get to be in these moments. I tell guys that all the time in fighters meetings. It's like, man, you never know what's going to happen. You could leave the venue tonight after your fight. You could get into a wreck. You could get an eye poke during the fight and not be able to fight ever again. I always
think about that, dude. You say stuff like your girlfriend could get pregnant, and you're 100% right. And like, not to get too personal, but like my shit right now, like I've got so much good stuff going on with life right now where it's like fighting's on the back burner. Mm-hmm. I want to fight again, but it's like you got to put some things ahead of others.
For sure.
And like you always say, you never know. Who fucking knows? It might be I might have fought my last time. I don't want it to be, but I might have. but I'm having, you know, you got to take things as they come. And like you say, you never know when it could be. And you need to enjoy every moment you do in there. Like a lot of times I take for granted. I'm so nervous and stuff, but the next time I fight, I really want to like soak it all in. I did a pretty good job of it last time, like, because I've always heard what you've said and taken it to heart, like, especially where it's like your girlfriend could get pregnant. And it's crazy, dude. Like, you never know what life's going to bring you. But last time I did try soaking it all in. I won pretty decisively, but that was my first time where it's like, you never know, this could be the last time.
Yeah.
And I never want to say it's the last time. But
how long have you been fighting for, man? Because you're 32, right?
Yeah. I fought for Josh Ruckers literally like 3 months after I turned 18.
So 14 years.
14 years. But I've just been too, you know, unproductive. I would say I've averaged one fight a year. There was one point when I was an amateur, I was fighting like my first 2 years of amateurs. I think I fought like 3 or 4 times each year. Injuries, life, you know, tried doing the whole just a fighter life, which was hard.
Real hard.
Yeah, I mean, I came to the guillotine factory before, and you know, my truck was filled with fucking just bullshit. I was like, you're like, what are you doing with that? I'm like, I'm trying to sell it. It's like, oh, it's like a table that's all scratched up for $5. It's like, it was free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thank God I got this job. And, you know, this sport's so hard, man. Like I've seen people literally ruin their lives trying to trace the sport.
Yeah. You know what though? I like, while I have seen guys ruin their lives, I'll be honest, most of the guys that I've seen do that, it's like they say they want to be a fighter, but do you really want to be a fighter? Because if you're really gonna like go all in, and I'm in this, I'm guilty like you are, where I fought once a year. Like my pro career, I think 1 year I fought 3 times, but outside of that, I was fighting like once a year. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my biggest regrets. If you're healthy and you're able, you should be fighting. That's it. Because you look at guys that got in the UFC and it's activity. It's like how much, because the UFC wants to know if they have 5 guys in front of them, one guy hasn't fought in a year, one guy fought a month ago, and before that month, he fought 3 months before that. He's fought 3 times in the last year. The UFC's taking the guy that's being active, and they know they can call and say, hey.
I will give myself a little bit of credit. Early on my career, I'm a little chunky right now, but like I was so small for 125. It was like I couldn't do that. It was like I would win some big fights, like 2 or 3 fights, and then try to fight somebody like Cleveland. You know? Yeah. And it was like high risk, high reward. It was like, you know what I mean? So, and then when I would lose, I would take time off to try to
figure it out.
Now I'm bigger, so who knows what I'm going to do. But also, there's other things in life. I'm making good money.
Got a little older, had more priorities.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I would 100% agree with you. Like, if you're young, you should try to take as many fights as possible, especially at the amateur level. Like, fucking pump them out. Like, who cares if you're going to make money off shirts? Fucking do it. Yep. Make your money, get your experience. And get experience for sure.
Yeah, man. I tell these guys all the time, you know, there's so many talented guys from all the gyms across the state that can really do something with the sport, but you know, they're fighting once or twice a year. They're not really staying active out of camp. They're not even coming to the gym. It's like, yo, if you really want to make it in the sport, there is no off season. It's a lifestyle, and you got to be in the gym all the time. Mm-hmm. You got to be constantly trying to get better, because I just think about how much the sport has grown since, you know, you and I started. We probably started about the same time. And it has grown so much. And dude, if you were to take a year off,
the people that we used to fight, it was like they would get dog walked by your worst competition.
Yes.
And they were like champions, like these people that you would fight in Polk County or Tallahassee for Josh Ruckers promotion, whatever. No shade to Josh Ruckers, but it was like the competition level now is like some of your amateur fighters could be fighting pro and doing very well back then. Like, and the sports evolved so much. It's insane, man.
Yeah. I think some of the guys that are like our higher level amateurs, you know, could have been in the UFC when it first started.
100%.
For sure. I look at Harvey
Dude,
Riding's wrestling skill and ability. I look at guys like Lucas LaRue, guys like Joe Gonzalez. These guys are talented.
All three of them, dude. Yeah. I've worked with all three of them. Even Joe, like I was helping his dad a long time ago. They might not even remember it, but he asked me to help his dad, or his dad called me to help Joe when he was younger, get some wrestling in. When it was like, what's his name? Adrian.
Yeah. Adrian, Haley.
Yeah. They were all training together and stuff. And to see what Joe has become is fucking so cool, dude. I mean, I know I worked with him for 2 days. So I'm not going to take any credit or whatever, obviously, but just to see that shit is the coolest thing ever. It's like, he's going to be the truth.
Yeah. And I'm sure you see that at your gym, you know, you see these guys come in with the big dreams of wanting to be an MMA fighter. 95% of them probably fall off and don't really do it. But that 5%, like the Seven Perkins that you get to see.
Dude, Seven. I have a picture of Seven where it's like he's my height and he's fucking in a purple or like a orange belt, whatever the fuck those kids' belts are. And and dude, I used to be able to beat the fuck out of Seven, and his dad would be like, "Lay it on him, Luke. Lay it on him." I was like, "Okay, I'll do whatever you want." I'll say. And little did I know, I was beating up this fucking 8-year-old, and then all of a sudden he turned 16. And he's beating my ass.
Yeah.
And now he's whatever the age he is. I don't give a fuck. I try not to spar him because he will literally like almost knock me out.
He didn't forget. He remembered all those beatings.
But I did actually used to beat the absolute fuck out of him.
Yeah. Oh, he don't trust me. He remembers. I know for a fact he remembers you beating him up, and he's getting his get back every time he stands in front of you.
I can't even get him on the ground now, man. Like he's good on the ground, but on the feet, he's an absolute menace. He will like Seth Petrozelli. He hasn't been in the gym too much recently, but he used to do this fucking toe kick where it's like he would flick his toe under your ribs. It wasn't a teep. It was like, I'm sure you know, a toe kick.
Yeah,
like,
a little front snap.
Yeah. And it was like a poke. It wasn't a teep. He wasn't pushing you. He was snapping it. And he would drop me with that. Seven does that shit. And it's even harder than Seth's. And it's like he'll drop me to the body. And it's more embarrassing than you're gonna drop the head when you're gonna drop the body.
Because you want to be there.
Bo Nickel last night, like you're like actually curled up and you're like, please stop.
Yeah. Speaking of Bo Nickel, man, right before the podcast started, you were saying you were confident that he was your lock on your parlay.
He was one of my locks. Yeah, Marcos and him. I had two. Marcos was a dog that I had a lock in. I did have the girl that beat Misha Tate. She was an underdog, but if I was to tell somebody, gun to my head, I said Bo Nickel TKO. I thought Bo Nickel was going to TKO this motherfucker. That was like plus money.
Yeah.
And he kind of got embarrassed, man. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was, man. But you know, he fought a guy with so much experience.
Yeah. The Ritter.
The Ritter is not. He's no joke. I knew it was kind of like for me, it was like the Holly Holm versus Ronda fight. I knew I had trained with Ronda, and I knew what a savage. Not Ronda. I trained with Holly. I knew what a savage. She literally made me rethink fighting. Like she beat me up so bad. I was like, oh my god. And then if she fought Ronda, I was like, she's gonna win, like plus 900.
I mean, that's a great comparison. But like even in the first round, when Bo jumped Gilly, I was like, he's finishing this. This is it. My girlfriend, she fucking hates Bo Nickel for whatever reason. She like preys on his downfall. She was going to sleep. I woke her up. I was like, hey, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. And she was like, oh my god, he did it. He did it. And I was like, dude, whatever. Yeah, she hates Bo Nickel for whatever reason.
Yeah,
but
he's trained with us a little bit over at Fusion. He's a sweetheart of a guy. He's a really nice guy,
dude. And it's like, it almost seemed like they set him up. Like even John Anik was like, everybody in Iowa hates this dude because he's in Penn State. So we'll see what happens. But here we go, Bo Nickel. He's supposed to be the next champion, but everybody hates him here in the arena. So
yeah,
it's like, okay.
You know, whatever. I just think they pushed him a little too quick.
I wouldn't even say that, dude. Like his last fight,
man, but De Ritter was a double champ.
GME.
He was a double champ in one championship.
But he fought like 4 people before he got to him, right? He fought GME.
Yeah. He fought some tough guys.
He fought I mean, who are you going to give him?
I mean, I think you just make your guys that are out of the top 15. You make them try to make a name for themselves against them, and find the guys that are just.
If you're
as
trying to
inexperienced.
argue, Mitchell, I'm sorry. If you're trying to argue that the Ritter was too much for him, people were saying he should have fought Cosmo. I got to call you out here.
I don't think he should have fought Kamzat either. I think Kamzat would have mauled him. I mean, even before this fight,
I'm saying, like, there's no way that he was too much for him.
I mean, we saw it.
Clearly, it was. Yeah. You're right. But if they gave him, I don't know, who's someone in that middleweight that's not unranked, who's unranked that they could have given him, that would have made the people happy. Like, people are already mad he was fighting like GME, and GME is a stud. Dude.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think, one, he probably got in the UFC a little too early. Like, just in general, like, let the guy get a couple fights. I understand the money of it all.
I don't know, man. He's so fucking good. Like, I don't think people realize what the wrestling level is.
Oh yeah, he's high level.
Unfortunately, like, he's in those spots where it's like, yo, this is MMA. It's not boxing. You're gonna lose.
Yeah. But I also
think his career is not over.
No, far from over. He's gonna bounce back from this and probably be better than ever. All the greats have lost except for, I think, Khabib and John Jones. I mean, we can say John Jones lost, but he didn't lose.
No, yeah.
But it's like, wrestling, his wrestling pedigree was so high, but there's still, it's everyone, whether you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu or you're a high level wrestler, once you get punched in the face
or the liver,
or the liver, needing the liver, everything changes.
The knees, dude. The knees are totally, you can't train. I mean, you can, but to train those knees that he was eating.
I don't think I didn't think that's how it was going to happen. I didn't think the knees were going to be again. I didn't think stand up was going to be that much of a play.
No. I mean, I knew he was going to try to stand with him a little bit because he's like, oh, I'm going to turn myself into a striker. But the clinch work, I was shocked because it's like the first knee, why aren't you just doubling and putting him on his head? I'm not the wrestler he is, but it's like whenever I take a knee, I'm fucking trying to double leg them or grabbing something. He was just like
backing up.
Yeah.
It was not a good
his wrestling
reaction.
Was so good, man. It's like that was shocking, but who knows? Maybe he had a little bet on there.
I mean, it was a good. I mean, what was he like? A plus 300?
I'm joking.
It's like a plus 300, I think, was the money just to pick the Ritter for a win.
Yeah,
Not even like picking how he won.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I hadn't parlayed with that. I wish I had just did a straight bet.
I had Bo Nickel to win round 2. Obviously, it was the opposite, and then I had D-Rod winning round 3, which
I thought D-Rod was going to win.
So if whatever his face, Bo Nickel would have won, that would have been big money.
Yeah, I messed up, and I had a Jillian Robertson. I had the Ritter.
I had Jillian winning by decision. I listened to too many talking heads. I should have taken the TKO. They were like, she's so good at whoever she fought. She's so good at surviving. It's going to go to decision.
Yeah, I've just seen a change in Jillian. Jillian is another person who fought for us when she was 18, young.
Small fact. Sorry to keep making this about myself.
It is about you, Luke. It is about you.
My first pro debut was actually in Mississippi. Jillian was making her pro debut too. She was the only person from Florida there. It was me, Johnny Baldridge, and then we met Jillian. And then this dude they called Yoda. I forget his name. He's
Aaron Williams, maybe.
Yeah. So he won. He was like the main event, and he was like, "Hey, come to this club. Come to this club." And we're like, "Fuck yeah!" I had a no contest. I'm probably the only person that's had a pro debut turned into a no contest. I'm bleeding out of my head. I fucking have staples in the back of my head. Fuck. Mississippi, I'll never fight for you again.
Yeah.
Last fights, go fuck yourself.
That's another important thing to bring up for these guys that are coming up in the sport is like when you go fight in another state, it's important to understand the rules and regulations in every state you fight in.
I don't want to get too in the weeds about this.
We won't. But it's important to know, like everywhere you go.
Mr. Dominich, you fucking told me you didn't have a fucking ambulance at your fucking event, and then you told me I had a vagina in the back of my head and I need to get myself to the ambulance. Had to pay for my ambulance. Ended up losing money on this fight. Had to go to the ambulance. They put 6 staples in the back of my head. Didn't pay for it. because it was out of state.
Mississippi has a very weird rule where if you're not from Mississippi, the insurance doesn't cover you.
Wish I would have known that.
Canada, same thing. You go fight in Canada, well, guess what? You're not covered on insurance. And if, I tell these guys all the time, we had a guy, we were offering him like 800 and 800. And he was like, oh, I got to offer to fight in California for 1200 and 1200. And I was like, okay. I said, well, in California, they have a state tax. In California, you have to get brain MRIs. You have to get CT scans. You have to do all these other medicals.
And they told me that there was not an ambulance on site. So whatever the fuck happened, go fuck yourself. Sorry, Paul Dominich, go fuck yourself. But anyways, sorry, cut that out, Ramsey.
We're live, Luke.
Go fuck yourself. I will never fight there again. Anyways, I come back from the hospital. I have 6 staples in the back of my head. I'm on the IV, whatever they gave me, and this dude's like, hey, let's party. Yoda, Aaron, whatever his name is. And he gave us the address. It's fucking in, we ordered an Uber. It's in Louisiana, New Orleans. It's like an hour and a half away. We're like, we're not fucking going there. Yeah, I was with Rich Grindle and Johnny Baldridge, and we're like, yeah, we're not going.
It's a long
we got
hike.
in the Uber, and he's like, yeah, you guys ready for a 2-hour ride or whatever? I was like, yeah, not going.
Man. Well, I mean, it's important though, man, especially I hope every gym has OGs like you, where these younger generation guys are going to ask you guys questions, whether it's about the weight cut, whether it's about fighting for out of the state and other promotions, because I'll be honest, and I know this, and I think anyone that's an OG like you knows, we spoil our athletes. Like we go above and beyond.
Night is you would never have what happened in Louisiana. Paul Dominich, fuck you. Happen in combat night. Like they literally were like, hey, we don't have an ambulance and you have a vagina on your head and you got to figure it out. That would never happen.
Yeah, no, not a chance. Like not a chance. Even if I had to, if something were to happen and the ambulance broke down, you're getting in my truck and I'm bringing you to the hospital. Like I'm just, to me, like it's so important that everything falls back on me.
I mean, I was at the Jacksonville event with Therese Finney or whatever his name is, and then Christian Lotion. Is that?
Yep. Christian fought Donnie Bush.
Donnie Bush, yeah. Cartel.
Yeah.
They're so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, I love that team.
People so much. But you guys stopped the event because you don't have the ambulance there.
Yep.
I was like literally telling my girlfriend and my aunt who lives in Jacksonville, whenever you guys come to Jacksonville, my aunt wants to go to your events.
That's dope.
And she was like, why is it stopped? I was like, because the ambulance isn't here. Because when I fucking fought in Mississippi, they had no ambulance, and I had to drive myself to get 6 staples in the back of my fucking head. And
that's nightmare fuel. I can imagine, freak accidents, guy break his leg or something, and then you're like, oh, get in your car and have your coach drive you.
I mean, I didn't drive, thank God. It was my truck, but thank God Rich Grindle was there, who you have a good relationship with, I'm sure. Rich. And then Johnny had just head kick knocked out some dude that was like the Power Ranger. But Jillian was there, obviously. Jillian won. Yeah, it's awkward, obviously. It's like, hey, I need to go get my fucking head stapled by some strangers and pay for it out of pocket, and they're paying for my gas, but nothing else.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, man, it's important. Florida is, I'm thankful we're in a state like Florida. There's a few really good states to fight in. Georgia, actually, of all places, Georgia is a really good place to fight. But I see these guys going to take fights in, Wyoming or in California. And it's like, man, you gotta like look up the medicals. I had a buddy who fought in Texas, Anbar, Boy Nazarov, fought in Texas. And I'm telling him like, hey man, be careful, Texas. You can't have any weed in your system.
Best not mix with Texas.
They don't play in Texas. That's goes out there.
Eddie Murphy used to say, best not mess with Texas. They'll fuck you up.
They will. He went and got a flying knee knockout, first round. Beautiful finish. Pops on his drug test, $5,000 fine.
Bro, sorry to get you off track. One of the funniest fucking videos you have is when you tell the people in the back room they're gonna get drug tested. I would have never thought of that. That's so fucking funny because they're all like, "Oh yeah." What? Wait. Like you see it sink in. They're like, "What's gonna?"
Yeah, I need to pull that prank more often. I need to get more guys with that. The first time I did it was before we did cameras, and I wish we did have cameras. We did it in South Florida again. And I told the guys, and I mean, the looks on their faces.
You can see them like they all turn to ghosts. They all get like white as fuck.
Yeah. Really scared.
That's funny.
Speaking of old school stuff though, man, like you've been around for a long time. So you started at Bulldog Boxing under Matt Vonna, and eventually you moved to the Jungle. Give us some stories about Bulldog Jacksonville fighting. I know because I used to always go to Matt's gym.
That was the wild, wild west, man. Like I've had probably my hardest fights in that gym, and it was like I'm almost knocked out, and Matt is like watching, almost laughing, like. But it was the best way to learn, man. Just getting fucking thrown in the fire. Jacob Brunel, Lil Inky, Caveman.
Rock Mithril, who was like turned out to be like a 14,
who like ended up training with Freddie Roach, like fucking beast,
amazing boxer.
And then obviously the success they've had with Austin Lane and Ramon. I'm in a video with Austin Lane, a Harlem Shake old school video.
We did one of those as well.
Yep. And Matt's like, I can't even do what he's doing. He's wearing like a mask and making a boner with his hand like this. And Austin Lane, he had actually just gotten to the gym, and you wouldn't think this, but because he's so big and I'm so small, but I was a huge Bears fan. He had played for the Bears, and then he ended up playing for the Jaguars. I'm also a Jaguars fan, but we became close friends just talking about football because in the sport, there's fucking nerds, dude. Nobody knows about football.
Yeah, Austin's actually a big wrestling nerd too. Rami, can you pull that up? That you got that Harlem Shake video? Can you find it?
Austin's like I guess he might get in trouble for this now. We might not be in he's wearing like a Native American headdress and I'm being pushed in a tire. So right there, yep, there you see him. He's not wearing the Native American headdress there. It's normal there. He's not being racist just yet, but he's
is that Caleb Paul too?
Caleb Paul was a fucking psychopath. If you don't know who Caleb Paul is, then you're not a combat.
I got a great Caleb Paul story.
Caleb would like literally we'd be sparring hard and he would just shank me, like pull my underwear down, and my nuts would just be hanging out in the gym. I would be so fucking mad because I'd be so serious. There's smoke. Daniel Hyams, he's like.
In the wrestling scene,
he's like a huge like youth wrestling coach now. Look at him here. Yep, there's the boner, and there's me in the tire. There he is. Yep, with the racist ass motherfucking headpiece. He should be fired. Never get a job again. Racist.
Not that.
Just kidding. And then I legit think Ramon's in there somewhere, but Matt's got that mask on with the fake boner. So Bulldog was such a fun place, man. It was
trying to charge.
Bulldog was like the Wild West, though, man. We fucking tried to kill each other.
I wish Caleb Paul. I don't know what happened, but I know he went 1-0 as a pro. Yeah. Got a brutal knockout, and then he just disappeared. But that's what I say again is like you never know.
Yeah, I think he had life shit, man. Like he just was like, bro. And I hate saying this kind of shit. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but it's like. If you're fucking like trying to like have a family and kids, it's like if you're fucking poor as fuck and you're fucking living in a fucking shanty and you're like, oh, well, I won the belt back in 2018. You remember I was an amateur champion?
Yeah.
Like, what does that fucking do for your family?
Nothing.
And I hate being a Debbie Downer. I hate saying that shit, but there's a certain point where it's like you need to figure out your life.
Yeah.
And
that's what I tell people is that like that's what makes fighting so hard. You know, I have guys who will pull out of a fight. They're like, "Oh, my girlfriend broke up with me," and I'm like, yeah, it's called life." And that's what makes fighting so hard is that these things that happen in our lives, and we have to still figure out a way to fight if you really want to do something.
And when you're young, take advantage of it, man. Like this is something you haven't. I mean, you touch on all the right things when you're giving the speech in the background, but this is one thing that people don't fucking prepare you for. It's like. When I was like 20 and shit, it's like, yeah, I could fight. But now I'm like 30, it's like, oh, I got a friend's wedding. Like, I can't fucking miss this. It's like, I've missed enough weddings at this point where it's like, I've missed weddings and then people have pulled out of fights. It's like, that fucking sucks, man. Like, I missed going to fucking Michigan for one of my good friend's weddings and then he pulled out of the fight. It's like, well, how many times can I do that? It's like, I can't keep missing friends' weddings. You know what I mean? So when you get older, just life happens, man. It's like when you're young, you need to take advantage of that. Like your friends are not getting married. Your family members are not having kids. Like my sister has had 2 kids now. And it's like, I'm not missing meeting them.
Yeah.
Like,
or
I love them.
First birthdays.
Yeah. I love them so much. I'm not missing that shit. Like, I'm gonna miss that. Like her birthday to go fucking get beat up by some random dude.
Yeah.
It's like maybe if I was like on the doorstep of making something, you know, but at a certain point, and I hate saying that, it doesn't sound like it, you know, you don't want to be a quitter, but you gotta make decisions in life.
Yeah, you got to be smart. That's what I say. Like, if you're young and you're healthy, go. Like, sprint, full speed. Don't, you know, and some guys have done that. You know, like Mike Perry.
I've fought on Mike Perry. Side note, again, sorry to make this about myself. I fought on Mike Perry as an amateur twice. He fought my teammate twice, Travis.
Yep.
Dude, Travis. Not to put his shit out there. Great example. This motherfucker was like training with the Diaz brothers. I thought this dude was going to be a UFC contender at one point. Who the fuck knows what's happening with his life?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I hope he's doing great. God bless him. I hope he's doing well. But this was a dude that like gave up what he was doing. He had whatever was going in his life was going well. He gave it up to try to fight and then just disappeared. I've seen motherfuckers ruin their lives for this fucking life.
Yeah, no, and it's not easy. You know, you can give it everything that you've got and still not be guaranteed to make it.
It's sad, man. Yeah,
but that's why it's important.
That's why it's so fucking cool when you see your motherfuckers make it, dude. Like,
yeah.
Mike Berry was one of the first ones. It was like, dude, you made it. That's so fucking cool. He probably doesn't know who I am, but I love Mike Perry. Phil Rowe, you know, it's so cool when you see these dudes that you come up with make it, like, and it's not like fake. You're like, dude, you fucking did it, man.
Yeah, and I think Mike fought 6 times as a pro, and like, I want to say it was like a 18-month or like 12-month period.
I remember nobody knowing who Mike was, and then he fought that Asian who was like, "Thought you had a friend, boy," and I was like, "Dude, you have no idea what you're about to get into." And they knocked his ass out.
Yeah,
and then now he's like an online meme, and it's like, dude, Mike is such a fucking animal,
savage.
Like, people don't know unless you're from Florida, dude. Like, Florida is a fucking cool ass state. People don't realize.
I remember when he's fought Dave Moondell, I think 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
And I was at an amateur fight. He got flatlined at the end of like the first or second round. And I mean, his corners ran in the cage, picked him up and put him on the stool, flatlined.
They're both in BKFC now.
Yeah,
trying to fight.
Moondell's trying to fight him.
He keeps calling him.
But
out.
I think
bro,
Bare Knuckle wants, they got to pay Mike a lot of money. So they want to put him against someone else who is like a big name.
I seriously, and you heard it here first. I'm sorry. I know it's your competition. I want to fucking do that dirty boxing shit. I think that shit.
Run it. Nah, I don't mean no disrespect to any other promotion in Florida, but we do not have competition. We just don't. Like,
as far as what you're doing.
Yeah. There's to me, there's no competition. I like what Mike's doing, and I encourage guys, if you're trying to stay active,
I want to do that shit, man. Because if I can be confident and throw my hands, you haven't seen it much in my fights because I wrestle so much, but my hands are actually pretty good. And where I get nervous when I'm fighting is the kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks. If I could just hunker down and sit down on my punches, it's fun, dude. Like when I fought Desmond Moore. He was a very good wrestler. Probably the first time I ever fought somebody that was like a very, very talented wrestler, where it was like, I'm not going to out wrestle this dude. Like Cleveland, I didn't think I was going to out wrestle him, but you know, I was like, let's bang. But Desmond was like an Olympic level wrestler.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, let's fucking bang. And I had some good knocks with him, especially the second round. And it's fun, dude. Just sometimes I just get so caught up in trying to get the takedowns.
Yeah.
I want to be able to just bang with hands, and watching a lot in the production value, like Bruno that fought over there. Yep. It looks like a lot of fun. I definitely want to. I'm interested in doing.
I'm friends with all those guys. So if that's something you do want to do, we can talk about it after, and we can get your name over there and see about some dates and stuff.
Do yeah, because it's fun, man. If you can just stand and bang and not worry about getting head kicked and stuff, that'd be a good time.
I mean, I think the guys on the opposite side of that, the guys that really want to avoid the wrestling but still want to do the kicks and everything, I think karate combat's a great spot. While you still can wrestle, it's such limited ground. If you can just, grab somebody or, stop their ground and pound for a second, they stand you back up.
They still have the dudes over there have great kicks. I mean, Sam Alvey is doing amazing.
I can't believe he just knocked out
there.
Tyrone Spong the way he
It's
did.
crazy, dude. But some of the dudes that can kick over there are nuts. Like, I would not want to fuck with that shit. Like,
Yeah, but if you're karate, a high level karate, like a well, who is it? I can't think of his name right now. A lot of these guys, high level karate guys that go over there and they don't want to be wrestling. So they just want to stand and strike, and they want to kick, they want to punch, they want to do everything. I encourage guys. Kat Nelson's a good example.
Yeah.
She went and did it and had a great fight. But what I would say is that if you want to have those little, I call them side quests, right? Because if your goal is to be in the UFC or PFL or one championship, if you can't find an MMA fight, go take karate combat, go take the dirty boxing fight. But you should always keep your MMA career first. You should always want to build that.
Especially what I see a lot of times people are making this mistake, I would say, is a lot of young people doing the dirty boxing. Bro, like, you're going to get so much scar tissue from doing, not the dirty boxing,
bare knuckle.
The bare knuckle. Like, the dirty boxing, you at least have MMA gloves on, but the bare knuckle, these young people doing that, they're going to get cut. The first time they eat a jab in an MMA fight, they're going to get cut. Like, it's so much scar tissue. Like, you got to either dedicate yourself to that or be at the end of your career in MMA and just sit there. That is my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think bare knuckle is a final stage of your career. I don't think, because your hands too, man. Jim, I cornered Jim in 4 of his bare knuckle fights, and his hands were always like 3 times the size. They were fat.
Dude.
They were, and like, he had issues. He had to go get
It's
worked on.
Be like carpal tunnel, bro.
Oh yeah, it was.
Like,
I mean, I'm telling you, it looked like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man hands. Every fight, didn't matter if you knocked the guy out in the first 30 seconds. The hand that he used would be like fat and nasty. And then, like you said, the scar tissue. There's no, you got scar tissue now, and then you go to do MMA and you're getting cut open.
And they're going to stop the fight. I mean, look at Nate Diaz or his brother Nick, especially. Like, you need to pick that path or leave. But I feel like karate combat and with the gloves and then dirty boxing with the gloves is a little bit more of a side quest type of style we're talking about. But I feel like bare knuckle, you're doing that coming back. I mean, Jeremy Stevens almost did it last night. I was rooting for
him too, man. I really wanted to see him. He had a tough guy in front of him. He came out in the second round.
Props to Mason, whatever the fuck his name is, for actually trying to bang with him for 2 rounds. I mean, at that point, you're like, yo, this is my livelihood. I need to fucking take him down and get this.
Do what it takes to win, for sure.
He was banging for a little bit.
Yeah, and I knew Mason could stand and strike because his fight with Mike Davis. I remember watching that fight, and I was like cringing because they were just thumping.
Mike beat him, right?
Yeah, Mike beat him. And I think it was his debut. It might have been Mike's like 3rd fight or 4th fight in the UFC.
These dudes that have came out of combat night, not to get sidetracked, have fought some tough motherfuckers. Like that dude that fought Ramon. He fought last night, Sani.
Yep.
Like, the combat night guys have not had it easy. Right?
Nah.
Like,
Look at
Trey
the guys Val fought.
Has fucking fought some tough
animals.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at Val's competition. Exactly. Like, they're not giving them any easy fights.
No, and that's why I tell guys, like, the fights are gonna get harder and harder and harder. So like when you first turn pro, I get it. Take 1 or 2 fights to get used to the 5 minutes. Take a smart fight. Be very always take smart fights, but the first 2, try to get the best possible fights for your career to learn how to be a pro. But once you get 2-0, 3-0, it's time to start challenging yourself. You're not doing yourself any justice if you're 5-0 or 6-0, 2 fights out of the UFC, and you're still looking to fight 500 guys.
Yeah,
because the last thing you want to do is get on the big stage, and now you're fighting a 7-0 guy who was also the stud in his region and in front of 1 million people.
It's so hard, man, because you just never know from region to region. And then it's like, you'll fight some motherfuckers in your region that you think are like the shit. And then all of a sudden you get to that stage, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's different. And everything's different too, Here you've got the comfort of your home, your bed, all your friends and family are there to support you.
I actually, not to cut you off, I like not having that.
Same.
It's just like you're in another space. You don't have to worry about people fucking texting you. Can I get the shirt? Can I fucking, hey, do you have any extra tickets?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I enjoy that as well. My favorite fight I fought in Georgia a lot. I loved when I fought in Georgia. I was the bad guy. People booed me. People told me I
The
was
heel.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm all about it. But my favorite fight was short notice, the one championship fight I took.
That's sick, dude.
No one knew. I called my girl and I was like, hey, so I took a fight and she's like, oh my God, really? And she's like, I'm so excited for you. And she was just happy for me.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't like freaking out or whatever. She was just happy for me. And I was like, all right, well, don't tell nobody. I was like, I don't want anyone to know I'm just going to do this. And I'll tell everyone after the fact.
Yeah.
But for me, it was very free. I wasn't in shape.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it was
it's
just
like you don't have to worry about anything, dude.
Nope.
That's how it should be.
No anxiety,
nice.
no added anxiety.
Yeah, because it's like it fucking sucks, man. It's like even when you're fighting somebody you think you're gonna fucking dog walk, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That thought in the back of your head, you're like, what if I don't? Like I fucking sold 300 shirts. Like, what if I don't? What if I fucking what if I get clipped?
Yep.
And then you're thinking, you're like, God, I mean, fuck. Chris Daniel was not a fight where it was like, I thought it was going to win. It wasn't like an easy win by any means, but I had that's probably the most people I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get fucking beat in 1 minute, you're like, God damn, that fucking sucks.
I know.
But it is what it is. That's the fight game. But, that thought is always in the back of your head. Even if I'm fighting somebody that I think I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of it. It's like, what if I lose in under a minute? It's like, that's the worst nightmare.
Yeah. I remember the first time I fought in front of my hometown was in Tampa against Gian Herrera. And he was the big prospect. I was the big prospect at the time. I think I was 4-0. He was 4-1. He was 4-0. And I knew in my heart and my soul, I was going to beat this guy. I just knew I was going to be there. This guy had no chance against me. I sold over 100 tickets. I sold like $15,000 in tickets. And I just knew I'm about to dog walk this guy. And then I had a bad rehydration. And I ended up getting rhabdo. And no excuses, not a single excuse. It is what it is. But I remember in the back, I went from like this super uber confident guy to like, man, I can't keep down no food. I'm like having trouble. I'm hitting mitts. I'm hitting like a 1-2-3 combo and going for a takedown. And I'm like, just sucking for air.
That is literally like a fucking nightmare, dude. When
yeah.
Did you end up fighting him?
Oh yeah. 3 rounds. I didn't get finished.
He lost.
I lost. Yeah. And he went to the UFC right after.
Fucking nightmare, dude. That is literally like, I have nightmares feeling like that, where it's like, oh, I'm going to beat this dude. No problem. And then I start warming up. I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
But I've had that in one where it's like,
same.
I'm like, been like, fuck, this feels like shit. Everything's not like, I feel slow. I feel out of shape. I know I'm in shape, but I feel out of shape, and then I go out there and win.
That's what makes fighting, again, the hardest sport in the world, because one night is all that matters. You don't get to a new season. It's like that night matters, and it's on your record forever.
Yeah, especially at the pro level. It's like there's no
redo.
You made a mistake, you're going to eat that.
Yeah.
Or they made a mistake.
There's no asterisk. Yeah, there's no asterisk next to your name for the loss that says, but he was flat that night.
He was shitting his pants the night before.
Yeah, he ate the wrong thing to recover, or whatever the case might be.
Exactly.
And like you said, I've won somewhere I felt like crap, and I've lost some that I felt like crap. But the feeling in the back when you're trying to warm up and you feel it and you feel heavy and you're just like, oh man, this is not how I want to feel right now.
There are some times where it's like you feel like I'm about to fucking whoop on this motherfucker, and then you go out there and you whoop on that motherfucker, and there's no better feeling.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah, that is like, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good time.
I only felt that for my first 2 fights. I started out my career 2-0, and I thought I was invincible. I had no idea that I could lose. And then I lost my 3rd fight in Bellator, and I thought I was going to kill this guy, and I felt great. Everything felt amazing in the back. I was like, I'm going to beat this guy. And I got beat, and I remember I still had gas. I still had a lot of energy in the end of the 3rd round. They're going to a decision, and I was like, I knew I lost, and I was just like, how did this happen? I felt so great. There's no way.
Those early fights, Mike Lee and I talk about it a lot, is like there's those young up and coming fighters that they don't know. Like they're so confident and they've not gotten their ass whooped, where it's like they don't know that's how good they are. It's like it's almost a superpower. Those first 2 or 3 fights, you have not been humbled yet.
Yep, before you get cracked.
Dude, it's like I didn't lose until my 3rd or 4th fight as an amateur. I did with Matt. about zero jujitsu. I was like, I fucking hate jujitsu. I think it's the gayest shit ever. Ramsey, cut that shit out. I think if you're on your back, you're a fucking bitch. And I hated that. I was just a wrestler. And then my third or fourth fight, I got triangled. And I was like trying to slam the dude. I couldn't get out of it. And I fucking had to tap. And I was like, fuck, I guess I got to learn this shit.
Yeah.
But you do feel invincible. Like those first 2 or 3 fights, like when you're just whooping up on people. Like I was fighting when you couldn't ground and pound to the head. So that was like a false sense of confidence because I would just fucking for 3 rounds just pound people's collarbones and be like, this would be your head. You're fucking, I would actually fucking kill you right now.
Yeah.
But it was easy wins, dude. It was like I would be in someone's guard and just fucking do this on their collarbone for 9 minutes.
Yeah.
But you didn't have that. If you get punched in the face, you're going to probably react a little bit differently. So you didn't have that. So I was beating these dudes, and then finally some dude threw a triangle up on me, and I was like, oh, fuck, what is this?
Yeah.
I can't slam him. I tried slamming him.
And you were a part of the time. I think for the first probably 4 years of Combat Night, there was no ground and pound. It was the weirdest thing. You had
to ground and pound to the body.
Yes.
So like Matt was a big proponent of hammer fisting
the
collarbone. So that's what we would do is just hammer fist the collarbone. And they didn't like it. Fair play to Matt. But you know, that's why I was gonna turn pro earlier, but I fought Lou because you guys had finally allowed ground and pound to the head.
Yeah.
And Mike was like, take one more fight, but actually have ground and pound to the head and see what could happen. Because I had 10 amateur fights.
Mm-hmm. Did you come to Orlando specifically to train at the Jungle?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Well, go to UCF.
Okay, so college.
Go to UCF. I graduated college, but I got a communications degree, and it was like just me partying.
Yeah, I mean, I think most college degrees, it's more about networking and meeting people than it is actually the degree. I mean, you got the psychology, the communication.
Yeah. So I ended up like having a real job out of college for a little bit, like a pay-per-click digital marketing job for a little bit. Hated it. It was like people don't realize like what the fucking life I was living. I was working at the Jungle, so I had a key. I would wake up at like 4:30, go train at 5 a.m., shower, go to work at 7 from the Jungle, work from 5 to 6, shower, go to work, leave, go back to the Jungle. At one point, I was actually teaching the fitness class, teach at the Jungle for 3 hours, train and teach, close the Jungle, close it up. Like literally, I worked the front desk and close it at 9. And I was doing that for probably 3 or 4 years to be able to train, make money, buy a house. It was rough.
Yeah. And you know, I would say that most guys can do that right. They have the time because
when they're young, dude.
Yeah.
I could not do that now. I'm not gonna lie. Like fucking, I'm 32 now. I just turned 32. I cannot wake up at 5 a.m., go work out, lift, go drive, do my job for 8 hours, and then fucking work until 9 p.m. I would off myself.
Yeah. I mean, I see guys saying things like, oh, I don't have any time for anything else. It's like, no.
When you're young, you can.
When you're young, your body can handle training for 2 or 3 hours and working for, even if it's just a part-time waiter job or whatever it is, you have the time to make money and do MMA full time.
Yeah, I was super lucky that they gave me that opportunity, and like they were so kind to me, like Mike and them. They were actually like paying me commission on sales, which I was doing well. Like I was actually making good money working for them and stuff. And you know, I was doing a digital marketing job, entry level, but there would be nights where I'd be like, if I sold 2 or 3 memberships at the Jungle, I was, you know, that's good money.
Yeah.
And I got to train like 3 hours prior and then close up shop and try to sell memberships.
Yeah. And even if, you know, that to me, that's the ideal situation. If you can work at the gym and you can hustle and you can make extra money, cool. But there's so many jobs that will work around your schedule as a fighter. Like if you're being a waiter, you know, you're doing these sales jobs. You know, I did Verizon. I used to sell cell phones, and it was like a 7-hour, 8-hour shift. and it would be at night or in the morning, and I would just train the opposite time. So I would go work, and it wasn't every day. And I also had college. So I did the same thing you did. I was going to school, working full time, training full time. I didn't have the luxury of doing amateur. It was illegal whenever I started.
So crazy, man.
It's crazy to see the evolution of Florida MMA.
I know, and now it's like one of the top.
Yeah, now we're one of the best in the state. Like for sure, Florida MMA is amazing, especially the amateur scene. But I tell these guys, it's like, man, you can do more. Like if I see you posting about partying every night, if I see you posting about playing video games all the time, like I don't want to hear you complain about being broke because there's no excuse.
Yeah.
And all that time you spend doing that and you still don't make a fight shirt, like you don't sell a fight shirt, you're not getting sponsors, take an hour or 2 hours out of your day and just say, I'm going to make my brand better today. I'm going to get online, share some stuff, go to some companies, message a couple companies, whatever the case might be. But there's 20, everyone gets 24 hours in a day, and you just got to find a better way to spend your 24 hours.
100%. And then, like I said earlier, it's like these people got to realize that the people in the gym care about them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not awkward. If they say no, it's whatever, dude. Like, I understand. If you don't got $150 to spend on a t-shirt, no big deal. But at least I asked. Like, there's no problem with asking. There's so many people that I've asked that have said no, and it's like, do I think they fucking hate me? No.
Yeah. And it's not just that. It's like, okay, maybe no sponsorship, but do they have a job they can give you? Can you work for their company for 3-4 hours a day? I got a lot of love for Tim Abdelshahid. Tim, he trained in the jungle for a while. Yeah, this kid's a hustler, man. He started his own little car washing business. So he details cars, and it's like he trains full time. He details cars and he hustles, man. This kid he works for us at Combat Night as well. There's never, I'll give you an example. I bought a boxing ring, a cage, and a bunch of bags, and I didn't have the time to list it all and do all this stuff. I was like, hey, Tim, I was like, if you want to, I was like, you can list all this stuff and I'll give you 20%.
Yeah, dude.
And he was like, hell yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Everything's gone
shit too, dude. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
It's like, like I said, I would go fucking find listings of people giving away free shit. There'd be times where it wasn't even listed. I would drive around Baldwin Park on Mondays because it was trash day. I would try to drive around before the trash was picked up. And if people were throwing away like dressers, I'd put it in my truck, try to sell it for $20. Like, I came to your house that one day and I had that shit. And it's like, that's a hard life, but fucking, I was having to do it if that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. It also teaches you stuff too, right? It teaches you how to hustle. It teaches you how to like invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing. I'd look on Craigslist and find, Jim did too, but like, Jim found a Cars, random story. Jim's found a Cars, like the movie Cars, a kid's bed for like 20 bucks.
Dude, I would fucking buy that for $200
and then resell it.
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah. A Lightning McQueen bed for $20 and then he resold it for like $150.
Hell of a deal.
So, there's a lot of ways to make money out there. It's just a matter of you wanting to put yourself out there and actually doing the work. And a lot of guys don't. They want to say like, I want to be the next UFC fighter. And it's like, well, look at what a lot of these UFC fighters are doing. That guy that just got in, I can't think of his name right now, but he was a welder. He was a union welder and he got a bonus fight of the night. Not this past weekend, the weekend before last. And he ended up quitting his job, but it's like, this guy was a full-time union pipe welder. And
North, that's a huge deal. Yeah.
And pursuing an MMA career. Look at Stipe. He was a firefighter. Brian Stan was in the military and a recruiter. These guys, even at the highest level, are still having to work. Because even if guys, everyone should know this by now, but even if you do make it to the UFC, you're still not going to be a millionaire. It's just not happening.
Unless you're fucking doing shit right on your social media.
And that has to start now. Starts as an amateur, Conor McGregor didn't become Conor McGregor when he got to the UFC.
Yeah.
He had already built himself as a brand and who he was well before he ever got there. And everyone, for the most part, is like that. There's a few guys that definitely, you got a guy like Khabib who just is a savage.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're not just a plain out savage, you have to build your brand. You have to be marketing yourself and learn how to do that early.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley is a great example, man. Look at what he's done. Before he got in the UFC, he was doing the Twitch. He was doing all the things. He was being very marketable, charismatic. And I hate to see these guys that, you're talented, great, but talent only takes you so far. Hard work only takes you so far.
And there's people that are like legitimately fucking funny and witty, and it's just a waste of creativity.
Yeah,
it's like because they're too fucking afraid to
put themselves out
shit.
there. You mentioned JP earlier.
JP is so funny, dude.
And he just got on this a year ago?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think a year ago.
A year or more. Yeah.
I remember him talking to me. We were talking about strategies and like certain things to do and not to do on social media. He went from like 2,000 followers. He has over 20,000 now, maybe 25,000 now in a year. So it's not hard. And he's still training full time.
And there's people where it's like, you're in the room and they're joking with you. And you're like, why are you fucking not doing that? I mean, not to put him on blast, but fucking Jackson Sanford, the last caveman.
Yeah.
That dude is fucking funny as fuck, dude. Like when I'm in the room, it's almost like a buddy comedy. It's like he's so big and I'm so small, but he's the one I gravitate to the most to talk to because he's so fucking funny. He's like always funny and shit. And he could be doing so much.
Man, you got to get on him, man. Humor. Make him get out there. Put himself out there. Get him involved in one of your videos.
He's been in a few, and he's done really well. Yeah, he's always a good sport. But there's people where it's like, and I understand it, where it's like, that's the hardest part is like asking someone, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And it's like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't want to do this shit either. Like, act like a fucking idiot. But he's a pretty good sport.
Yeah, I like Jackson a lot, man. You got a lot. There's actually a lot of guys right now coming out of the jungle, out of the amateur scene into the pros, like the Jacksons. Seven's not going pro yet, but he will
he's
soon.
Gonna be a problem.
But and the jungle, I feel like was the OG of guys being out there and kind of crazy. The Tom Lawler, Seth. Yeah, like
funny ass motherfucker.
Great at marketing themselves and putting themselves out there. So I encourage Jackson, please. Last Caveman. It's a great moniker. I love it.
He's so funny too. Like he could do some stuff.
And he's got the accent. He's got that southern.
He's got the PA accent.
Okay, it's PA, but
it's like a Philly. I can't even fucking do it. He'll be like, "Yeah, what up, dude?" I can't even.
For some reason, I feel there's a country draw to the way he talks.
That PA shit's so weird, man. I can't even do it. Sometimes I can lock into it, but it's like almost like a Shane Gillis. Like Shane Gillis is from Mechanicsburg, similar area to where he's from, and it's like that PA accent's so weird when you can hear people. I can't even impersonate it right now.
It's such a wholesome. It is wholesome and it's unique.
Yeah.
So he puts himself out there. It's gonna catch on pretty quick, and he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's funny, dude. He's very funny.
Yeah, I like Jackson, man. I'm hoping we can keep him busy. At heavyweight, that's one of those weight classes. You mentioned Austin Lane earlier. They get a few fights. There's not a bunch of heavyweights that are there, so if they get a few fights,
and the talent is just like superstar level or fucking bottom feeder.
It's crazy. You see. So yeah. I think our weight class 25, the smaller is the hardest. It's like you gotta be good at everything.
Like you're gonna fight a Makhmedov or just some dude.
Yeah, and you got to be good at everything at this level. Where at heavyweight, if you're good at everything, you're probably gonna be a superstar. Like you look at Aspinall.
One thing, I mean, if you look at that dude that fought last night, he was the Iowa wrestling champion. What's his name? He took down Dontel Mays and just held him for 3 rounds.
You know what? I missed that fight. I watched the fights, but I feel like
the second fight of the night. He was the heavyweight, and
I didn't pay attention to the first 3. Jillian's fight was the first fight that I
was
number
right
4.
Before Jillian.
Okay.
So he just took down Dontel Mays literally for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
For 4 minutes each round.
Nice.
But he was Iowa national champion, something crazy like that. But like you said, the commentary was like, if you're Dontel Mays, this almost makes you want to quit because it's like, what are you gonna do? It's like the wrestling level at that weight class is such a disparage.
Yeah,
because it's like big fat guys that can strike, and then this dude who's gonna take you down and destroy you
and maul you on the ground.
Yeah, and there's no in between.
And you're never catching up to that either.
Yeah, no, of course. Dontel Mays trains with John Jones. It's like, what are you gonna do? He's good. Please don't tell me don't fucking beat me up. He'll knock the fuck out of most people, but if it's a national champion wrestler,
good luck.
What's the point?
Yeah, especially at heavyweight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one thing if you're a national champion wrestler at 155 or
yeah,
145.
there's so much room for variables there, but at 25 or at heavyweight, there's no room for variables.
Yeah, and you get a if you're a 275-pound man with another 275-pound man on top of you, that's a lot of man, bro. You're good luck.
Yeah,
good luck.
Yeah. And he just kept hitting him with like these. That wasn't even hard elbows.
Yeah, but
it
again,
was just enough to keep him there.
275 pounds.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't feel good.
Yeah, it's a lot. And there's not like there's little tiny gaps. When we fight, there's little tiny gaps you can find, little holes. But these big dudes, like you're not trying to. You're not
his belly on you.
Yeah, you're in a bad shape. Man, who at the jungle right now? Who would you say are your top three? You see these guys every day. And I don't want to hear about guys that we know about. We know about Seven. Yeah, we know about Stanford. Who are your top three guys that you see making waves over the next year at Combat Night?
I mean, Harvey.
Okay, we know about Harvey too, so we can't use Harvey. I'll take out the equation. Harvey, Jackson, and Seven. I'm sure there's probably someone I'm missing. The Spanish kid.
Edgar. Edgar's going to be a problem.
I like Edgar too, but who's that? The skinny Spanish kid that only speaks Spanish.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be very good.
Ramos?
Yeah.
Bro, that guy's a savage. He does crazy stuff inside the cage.
No, it's like he starts the fight with a spinning heel kick.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then it's funny because Alec is doing Duolingo. And he's legitimately practicing with him to
yeah. That's dope. That shows Alex's dedication as a coach to want to learn.
No, Alex is a great coach. He's very personable with his fighters, and then obviously he is trying to learn how to speak Spanish with them. He was doing that before him, but it definitely helps that he's got motivation. Yeah, man, he's as passionate as they come. I love it. If he feels like one of his fighters isn't getting a fair shake at something, he's not afraid to be vocal about it. I've had many conversations with him after fights where we have to discuss stuff because he really cares. And I love that. I love it when a coach doesn't just say, it happened, or it's just a fight. Right. Can't control that. No, he'll go back to the drawing board and make it hard on himself.
Yeah.
He does not take losses as oh, well, he fucked up. It's oh, I fucked up. We fucked up.
Yeah. I love seeing that. I love seeing coaches that really take the blame on. And then want to fix it and get it better.
I mean, the worst practices are when we fucking lose 2 or 3 fights. It's that next week is not fun.
Yeah, but Julian is the same. He's very passionate. I'll see him after if we where we've cornered a fight in the UFC, and he's watching this phone. I'm like, what are you doing? It's man, I just don't understand, man. Wow, I don't know. Man, it was this position right here. This was the moment.
Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, just. Relax.
But yeah, there's a lot of young fighters coming out of there. There's this kid Ryan that's going to be very good.
Ryan, what?
I don't know his last name, to be honest.
I feel like we just got his name. Is he 0-0?
Yeah, that should be him. He's him and his family come to the gym every night. He's fucking dedicated as fuck. Cool. He's very good. He's going to be good.
I took all your easy picks away.
Christian, you don't know too much about. Christian's very good.
I like Colhane.
Yeah, she's going to be, she's already fought for you guys 3 times, but she's putting in so much work behind the scenes that it almost doesn't do justice. She's dominating these fights, but if you guys knew how hard she's working, you would be holy fuck.
Well, speaking of that, man, you're a small guy like myself. Uh-huh. So we end up being the girl whisperer, right?
Yeah.
Because they know that we're not going to try to break them or hurt them, and we're going to be able to give them hard rounds without trying to kill them.
Yep.
What is it like for you? How do you feel being the go-to?
I love it. I've helped a lot of people out. Ari, especially. I
love Ari.
I love you train with her a lot. I like it because it's almost like being a coach. And myself, you know what I mean? Yep. Helping these people out, and coaching, is something I'm very passionate about. I love seeing people. I never want to take the credit because they're always the ones doing the work, but to help someone progress along the way, it does feel good. And then, a lot of times it is females because they are smaller, but there are people, like Harvey now, and I'm helping out a lot. And then there's people that have left the jungle that are smaller 25ers that I've worked with a lot that, I know I've helped along the way, and I would never want to like take credit for what they've done, but
Yeah.
you know, I know I've helped them and they've helped me. But it's fun. I do like that, and I want to be, you know, that source for help for smaller people, if it's men or women at some point. You know, eventually I want to get into just coaching. That day will come when it's that way, but I think I'll have a lot of success with that.
Nah, man, especially with all your experience, you know, I always love it whenever I see the OGs going into coaching or judging or reffing. You know, Rich Grindell we talked about earlier. Now he's a judge.
Yeah. Chase Rowden.
Yeah, it's great.
He's like a ref.
Yeah, he refs with us too. Now it's so awesome because I know that the athletes are in good hands. I know that.
Yeah, they're great people too, man.
It's so different when you have a ref that's been in there, you know, and they, you know, let's just say they see a nut shot, but they're in a bad position, but they see the body language and they're like, oh no, that had to be a nut because his hips thrusted back. Let me get a second here.
Yeah.
They understand it. Or they
and
you know,
like, yo, take it. Like, take the second. I've been there before.
Yeah. They're not trying to rush you.
Yeah. Like, hey,
you gotta go. Come on.
Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. I love having, and the judges too, you know, Rich Grindell, he has a notebook and he sits there and he's watching fights and it's
he's so meticulous.
A robot.
Like,
it's like strike.
If you watch golf, not to get too straight off, but there's this golfer, he won a major championship recently. He has a notebook and he tracks every shot he takes, practice rounds or regular rounds. He puts what happened on that shot. It's fucking disgusting. It reminds me a lot of Rich though. It's like, that's how meticulous he is. Like literally every stroke he marks what happened. Like I missed the green 120 yards out. That would be,
you know, that would be a big hack I would say too, to give to fighters, is that the ability to be able to track your previous performances. And especially when you're in fight camp, Josh Saman was big about this. He had journals for every fight camp and he logged what he ate, how he felt at practice, what worked, what didn't work.
Felicia Spencer, she really put that into our camp a lot. And then like people like Jeremy Williams, he took that piece. I've never done that. I've never really had a hard weight cut.
Yeah.
So I haven't had to do that. Like even when I made 115, it was never really hard. But like I know Jeremy, he tracks everything he does, like 3 weeks to 4 weeks out from a camp, how much he weighs, what he ate, and
how he felt.
Because of Felicia did a really good job of tracking that. She kind of put that into people's heads.
That's smart, man. I tell you, because you know, if you feel really bad and you write down on Monday, I felt really bad. And then on Thursday you felt bad again. And then next Monday you felt bad, and you can look and go, oh, every time before the training session, I ate this. Let me not eat that. Let me not do that now. So it's a way to just to be able to go back and keep yourself accountable, hold yourself accountable, and making sure you're doing the right things and that you're getting better. I didn't do it. I wish I had more time. I'm also not one of these guys.
Did you ever have like bad weight cuts though? I mean, I knew you when you were fairly like probably my age now.
Yeah.
You know, but did you have like, was 25 a huge cut for you? Or?
Yeah, I walked at 55.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, okay. It was a very big cut for me. And I made the cut 4 times. I would say 2 were really good and 2 were really bad.
Did you miss weight ever?
I never missed weight. That's another thing I always tell people, like, I'll never hold someone to a standard that I can't hold myself. I'll never ask someone to do something that I can't do myself. So like
every fight you had though, you were around 155 starting?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. I never knew that. I thought you were similar to me, like not that much bigger.
No, you know, it's funny. After my career, like as it was winding down, I walked around at like 45. But
you're in like better shape now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so fucking crazy. If you see Seth Petrozelli now, it's like he's better shape now than when he was on Ultimate Fighter. It's so weird.
Yeah, I think just as you get older, you start realizing like, you know, drinking isn't good for you and these things don't help you get closer to your goal, and you feel it more. So you start getting rid of things and you start realizing like, man, I'm not really sleeping that good. So you add magnesium and you add these little supplements to your routine. And it's like, yeah, I feel like an old man, but it's just crazy that I wish I had done these things when I was younger and taking better care of myself. I probably would have had a better career. I didn't, but trying to tell these young guys this, it's so funny because they just look at me like I'm an idiot.
I know. Like, hey, you should stretch.
They're like, yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, whatever. Beat it, nerd.
Same. Yeah. Afterwards, I'm like,
who was in your MySpace top 10, nerd?
exactly. Like I'm just ancient to them. And but I wish some of these younger guys would really take heed. That's why when I see a guy, Troy Worthen was like that. Troy was super dedicated and he was so smart with the way he did things. Was also very successful. Timmy, I see Tim doing that. Tim takes care of himself better than any 21-year-old that I know. I don't know anyone that treats their body like Tim.
Yeah. I wish I would have done that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But that would be the ultimate hack, I would say, for all these young guys coming up, is that the youth is going to fade. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter.
You feel it. It's so crazy.
And then it's too late. Once you start feeling that fade, you're like, oh, I should have.
Oh my God. It's like these fucking like 20-year-olds have nothing to do but beat my ass. Like I've got a mortgage. I've got like all this shit. It's like these fuckers have nothing to worry about. Beat my ass. It sucks.
Yeah.
I wish I would have taken care of myself, like you said.
Yeah, it's hilarious. They show up and the only thing on their mind is whooping whoever is in front of them. I show up now and I'm like, oh man, I gotta pick Caden up at 3. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
I can't imagine with the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
The different life that is.
No, man, it's but just as you get older in general, like you said, the mortgages and your jobs and paying bills, I think until I was 26 or 25, like my mom still took care of like my insurance for me. Like, I mean, like I wasn't really an adult until I was like probably 26, 25 years old. I started being a real adult. And I think it happens more and more nowadays where their parents look out for them longer than like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And they just take it for granted. They don't realize how lucky they are to have that and how much more they can do because they don't have those stresses in life that we have.
Yeah, right. There's definitely some, but then there's definitely some where it's like, they're like, I need to fucking do this or I'm going to fucking fail.
Yeah. No, there's a couple out there. Like I said, like I could see Seven being one of those guys. I could see Harvey being one of those guys because of just how good they are. And I never see them looking out of shape. Some guys I see and they look like Patty Bimblett after a fight. And it's like, bro,
this is the most out of shape I've ever been in my life. But those two work so hard. Even if they don't have a fight coming up, they're ready to go.
Yeah. I'm excited for Seven, man. If there was like, I would say my two top picks right now in Orlando, maybe even in Florida, as far as like future goes, I'm going to get 5. I'm going to get 5.
Yeah.
Seven Perkins, Joe Gonzalez.
Yep, I agree with both of those.
Shane Godoy, Brian Santiago,
100%. Yep,
and Harvey. These 5 guys.
Phoenix up in there as well. That
Phoenix, EB. I like him so much, man. I think eBay. Sorry, I say it all the time. eBay.
He's going to be very good as well. But I love your list, especially.
You know what I think Phoenix needs to do, and I told him this already. He needs to cut his hair. He might have done that by now or
Phoenix or Seven's the same way, dude. It's like that hair literally
4 pounds.
You might be able to make 125.
Yeah, it's a lot. Ginseng cut his hair. Ginseng missed weight 2 times in a row for us. And he cut his hair. He lost 4.5 pounds.
Yeah.
4.5 pounds. That's crazy. That means when he was making 35, he was really making 130.
I know. It's nuts. It's so heavy.
So, and
Phoenix fights at 45 or 35?
45. And I think if he cut the hair, I think he can make 35. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think
you're right, to be honest. Like him and Seven are like the same build.
Yeah.
But those two, they're very similar. They're fun to watch, dude. Every time Phoenix fights, I like to watch him.
Yeah. Stone Cold just went pro. I'm really excited to see.
Gym's very, very fun to watch.
Kaizen has come up out of nowhere. Like over the past 2 years, it's been really cool watching Kaizen rise and come to the top. Because I would say the jungle, MMA Science down south is another one. Fusion is another one. TFW up in Tallahassee has gotten a lot better. Like I've seen them come up as well. And
then it's weird. Like Jacksonville is almost like its own entity. Like there's not one gym. They all like
cross train and go with each other and stuff. But there's a lot of savages in Jacksonville coming up too.
Yeah.
But
Trail's fucking so fun to watch.
Yeah, I love his antics too. A lot of people don't get it. They hate the fact that he talks so much smack, but I like it.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
I've been the source of that
he's
smack.
Like real as fuck.
Yeah,
like, I would say it's like there's no
filter.
He doesn't play around.
Nope.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say most people in Jacksonville are like that though.
Yeah.
There's that Duval vibe. For
No, I love it. And you watch these Duval guys. That's where we have our most UFC athletes. Almost.
No, there's so many. Trey Waters, Ramon,
and then even Kazuba.
Austin.
Kazuba, he went to PFL. He's won 2 world titles over there now.
Who was
Jacob,
the other dude?
Preston Parsons.
Preston Parsons. He was the main event when I fought there.
Corey Taylor's coming up.
Corey
He's
Taylor,
4-0, 5-0 as a pro now. And now we got a lot of savages coming up through Combat Night, but specifically in Orlando, that's what those 5 were for. Those 5 were for just that Orlando market.
Shane is fucking, every time I watch him, what I love most about Shane, and then I think it's also a thing about fusion fighters, is some of them fucking pick the coolest walkout songs. And sometimes it's like, I love walkout songs. Whenever it's disgusting. My girlfriend's like, you're going to have to fight 400 times for you to like pick your walkout songs you want. But they find some low key fucking sick. What's that dude that he just fought? GM, they call him. He fought in Orlando for the belt. He had a sick ass Kanye walkout song.
John Morea.
Yeah, he just fought for the belt.
Yep.
Him and Shane. Shane will have some of the coldest walkout songs ever. I really love how they put thought into them.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things is the walkout.
That was mine too, but I did the complete opposite. I used to pick the most ridiculous, like retarded songs you can imagine. I came out to like Macho Man. Yeah,
it's like what Matt Ferriola does. He walks out to like
goofy
My
stuff.
Heart Will Go On, like the Titanic song.
There's nothing worse than sitting. I mean, this is what I was thinking. Like, first of all, I want to have fun when I'm walking out. Like, it was like my cue to like loosen up. I walked out to Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Dude, that song goes hard though. That is a sick ass song.
I did a remix. I did Mike Tyson where he's ranting, where he's like, "I'll kill you, I'll da 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 da,"
super white bitch.
And then it drops into "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
That's awesome.
So I had fun. That was probably my favorite thing, was picking up my walkout song. I always waited till the final week, and I just loved it.
I feel like my Spotify Wrapped. It's like, you played this song 4,000 times. It's like, oh, I wonder why. It's like, oh, I must have had a fight.
Yeah. That's dope.
That it is fun though. But yeah, my girlfriend always gives me a hard time. She's like, you need to fight like 500 times to get the walkouts you want.
Well, now I know we're gonna at least get you one more time. Where would you like to fight? Orlando or Jacksonville?
Again, I would like to fight more than once, but if I were to close it out, it'd be Jacksonville. I do want to finish where I started.
Well, man, don't be afraid to bug me like directly.
Yeah, no, I will. The thing is, this sport is something you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, you're going to get fucked up badly. And obviously I don't want to get fucked up badly. So it's something I want to be able to fully dedicate myself to, and not just for myself, but my family. I don't want them to see me get my ass kicked or anything. No. And I'm going to get more settled in. This job is taking a lot of my time, but eventually I'm going to get settled in, and I'm moving now to Tavares.
New house, or
new house,
you bought a new house?
My girlfriend bought a new house. Not to get into it too much. I'm renting out my house, and then she bought a new house. To get into our own financial.
Yeah. I just know you already had one.
Yeah,
so I was like, man,
no. So we're doing good. We're doing well, and the job's going well, and again, it's one of those things where I don't want to put 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And if I would feel unprepared, I would pull out of a fight. I would never do that. And I don't want to do that to somebody. Yeah. So I want to dedicate myself. But I want to at least get 1 or 2 more in.
Okay.
And my big goal is to fight Lil Uzi Vert. I want to win a couple times, get my name out there, and then box Lil Uzi Vert. That's the big goal.
That's the goal. Okay. Some guys have UFC. Some guys have one championship. Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, I want to box Lil Uzi Vert. I know he's been hitting the pads. So get a couple more fights, get my name out there, and then call out Lil Uzi Vert. I know his bitch ass, or their bitch ass. It's hitting pads. Just kidding. I love you, Lil Uzi. But
is that what you named your dog after?
I did name my dog after Lil Uzi.
Okay. When you first said that, I was like, wait, you want to fight your dog?
I do love Lil Uzi Vert. So I'm just joking, but I know you hit pads, and if you're ever wanting to do a boxing fight, we're about the same size. So
he'll still whoop you, even though he likes you.
I would, yeah. Let's make some money for charity.
Cool.
For Philadelphia and Duval County, one of the two.
Well, man, we're wrapping up. Coming to an end here. I want to give you 2 gifts. One is the new shirt I'm wearing right now, and I know
this is gonna be big right here.
You are a big capybara fan.
I love capybaras.
I bought this sticker in San Diego, the San Diego Zoo.
They have it. Yeah.
I saw this sticker and I said, I know Luke would love this. I bought this like 2 years ago.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to add that to our new house because we just got. I love putting stickers on our trash can, and we're moving, so we got a new trash can. So this will be the first one on there.
Nice. My buddy runs a farm in I think Point Siena, and he just put in like the permitting and all the work to get capybaras.
No shit. So, is it the Green Lake Farms?
It is. No, it's called the Fearless Farm.
Okay, there's a Green Lake Farms, and the reason I'm asking is he used to be the Muay Thai coach for the Eisenberg twins. So you remember Mark Zuckerberg in the movie Social Network? The 2 twins he used to coach in New York. He's one of my clients. He's got a dumpster, so I wasn't sure if it was him. He's got a Muay Thai gym on his farm. It's like all outdoor, like old school Thai.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it's in Point Siena too.
Yeah. Well, when he gets the capybaras, I'll let you know whenever they get on the farm.
And then
go check them out.
They got the Capybara Cafe, but they're all booked.
Yeah, I try. I'd like to.
They're like booked for like
October.
4 months. Yeah. But if you really want to meet one, Wild Florida, they got one. They've got like 2 or 3 that you can meet for like $20.
You get to pet them?
You get to pet them for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's dope. That's not bad at all.
I've got to do it twice. They're named after the chipmunks. So Alvin, Theodore, and Simon.
Oh, Caden will love that, bro. He loves capybaras too.
You should go meet them. They're good peeps, and they're fucking. It's almost weird how cool they're. Almost like cats. They'll like crawl on your lap and you pet them. They feel wiry. It's like you're scratching your beard. That's
real cool. Yeah, I want to meet him. Caden is a big fan of capybaras too. Actually, whenever I was looking for the sticker, because I bought it so long ago, I didn't know where I put it. I was like, man, have you seen the capybara sticker? And I found it. And he's like, what are you doing with that? And I was like, oh, I bought it as a gift. And he was like, you're giving the sticker away?
Oh,
I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, I bought it as a gift.
He knows. He knows the cappies they're beautiful creatures.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, man, Luke, let the people know where they can find you on social media. And I'll say this too, guys, I vouch for Luke's content. I share it all the time. It's genius. It's creative. I might have stolen an idea or 2 or I've definitely been inspired by some of his content. So make sure you find him on social media. Is it just Gingerbread Man?
Yeah. Gingerbread Man 426, but it's GINGABRED. So it's like game bread. Yeah. Should have probably been smarter when I made it, but I didn't know I was going to be doing this shit, but it is fun.
Cool, man. It's love having you on here, man.
I appreciate that. Always fun. Thank you, Ramses. Thank you, Mitchell.
For sure, man. Have a good night, man. All right, that's it, guys. Every Sunday, we're tuning back in. We're going to be hitting this every Sunday. Make sure you tune in. We're going to try to have guys over here. I'll be interviewing some. Ramsey will be interviewing some. But the first few will be OGs like Luke Pustay. Everyone have a good night.
Are you ready for combat night?